Hello, welcome to Dodgers Trips. It's a bit Baltic out and a bit wet, so I'm glad today's video we're indoors. And we're going to meet a chap who served the Wyke community for lots and lots of years. We're going to go inside his shop now, have a little chat, so if you're ready, we'll go to meet Lawrence Grimshaw of Wyke Shoe Repairs. Let's go. Right, Lawrence, many thanks for inviting us into your shop to have a little chat today.
No problem.
Just as a way of background, I came to chat with Lawrence about a week ago and said would he be open to me coming in and having a little conversation with him, because I was keen to meet some of the traders in Wyke, and Lawrence, well, he's got that curiosity of maybe, I think, having the smallest shop in Wyke, but he's also one of the longest running traders. So we're going to have a little chat about his business, how he set up in Wyke, and also he's got a bit of a passion outside of work for music, so we're going to find out a bit about that as well. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to mention as well is that I don't know Lawrence. The only sort of background information I've got about him is that about 35 years ago I used to work with his sister in Bradford, and she knew I lived in Wyke, and she mentioned to me one day that her brother was opening a business. He was opening his own business in Wyke. And apart from that, and I've seen little posters about his music events. That's all I know, and pretty much all you know is I make videos in Wyke. Would that be fair to say?
Your videos, that's why we got talking, didn't we?
Right, but yeah. So if we could just start off, if you could just tell us,
right, what do you want to know? So
yeah, how you came to be in Wyke?
Started shoe repairing as a Saturday lad when I was 14. So I used
Can
to
we ask when that was?
Morley, that was 74.
Right.
So I did a couple of years as a Saturday lad, and I got a job full time. Worked for a company called Coombs, an old established British company. Worked with them for a few years, worked opposite Town Hall, that used to be my first shop. And then I decided to have a go on my own, but rather than town, I preferred, a little busy village, which Wyke was in them days.
What made you decide on Wyke then? Was it that just this property was suitable, or?
No, just I didn't want to work in town. I prefer village life, sort of really, busy village, but village life, you get to know everybody better, become friends over the years, really. Yeah. I've watched people go, their kids take over, and now it's the next ones after them taking over. So I've grown all up with them. I know everybody in Wyke now. So I've been here, that sort of thing. 87 I opened up. What will that be?
87,
38 years.
38 years,
yeah,
wow.
38 years, so it'll be 39 years in May. I'll probably do about another 3 years, I would say. And
so you get past your 40?
Yeah, hopefully somebody will take it over then.
Is that your wish is that someone would carry on?
Yeah, I hope somebody takes it over, somebody younger. It's obviously coming up to retirement. So I'll do about another 3 years, so that'll be 41 years in Wyke. Yeah. But actually doing job, 65 now, and I started at 14, so I've put some time in already, do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I think it's time. It's getting that way now.
Has time flown then?
Yeah, so
has time flown?
Time's flown. I love it. I always have.
Yeah.
I still enjoy it from even when I started. I still enjoy my work, and it's the only work I've ever done. I've never worked doing any other trade.
So when you started straight from school then in this industry, as it were.
Industry, yeah.
What was the training period before the sort of?
In my day, when you started when you were 16, you did a 3-year apprenticeship. Yeah. And gain your city and guilds and so on. Do you know what I mean?
So that was the proper old apprenticeships,
proper old
a fixed term. And
fixed term, 3 years really. And then you started moving into getting your own shops or looking after shops and then building up. And then I used to do a lot of relieving all round sort of Yorkshire and Lancashire.
Oh, did you? You moved about a bit?
Moved about a lot at first, and then I got my shop opposite Town Hall, which was Cobblers, which was, as I say, a long established firm with that one. Yeah. And then I decided, well, let's have a go on my own. So
before you moved here, was it Coombs you were working for then?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's in the days when it was really busy. You used to get about 150 pair of shoes in a day. Right. Then your keys, probably cut 200 keys a day, you know, that's when it was really busy. Once upon a time in this trade, they used to have night shifts as well, believe it or not.
Really, yeah.
Yeah. You know, times have changed. Everybody's in trainers now and such stuff, or throwaway.
It's all disposable
which
stuff
is a shame,
now, isn't it?
really.
Yeah.
You can go out and buy a good pair of shoes, say a pair of Locs, 250, 300 quid.
Yeah.
Well, it's worth having them done 3 or 4 times. So
True,
it is
true.
cost effective
Yeah.
to buy a better shoe and get them repaired.
Yeah. Yeah.
People don't think it is, but it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's lasted a long, long time. Yeah.
So when you moved into this shop, what state was it in?
But it used to be local coal office.
Oh, coal merchants.
Coal merchants,
Right,
yeah. So you
okay.
come here to order your coal.
Yeah.
And there used to be a big coal wagon behind. And then eventually they got to retirement and I took it over and it was the old, what do you call them, plugs, what, Bakelite plugs and light switches and stuff.
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
So stripped it all out completely, rewired it and set me sent up.
Right.
You know.
So when I've looked at the old photos, we might show some up on screen as we go along. There's a couple of old photos of these premises.
That's
I
right.
think 1920s,
Yeah,
that sort of era.
yeah.
And it's only sort of this bit which is like the lean-to, because now you've got hairdressers behind you, haven't you? You've
That's
got like an
right,
extension.
yeah.
When you moved in, was it just this bit, or did it have
Just
the?
this bit, what we've got now, what you're looking at now,
Yeah.
and then I built on behind me from my daughter-in-law, the hairdressers behind me, what was behind,
Yeah.
which originally, back in the day, that's where coal wagon used to be parked up.
Right.
You know, so made use of land and built on there, so we've got 2 businesses.
That's good,
now.
eh? 2 family businesses.
yeah.
I hadn't realised.
Yeah,
It was all in
Yeah.
the family. Yeah, very good. So as far as your, services that you're providing to Wyke from your shop here, you've mentioned shoe repairs and key
Shoe
cutting.
repairs, you've got key cutting, stitching, knife sharpening, scissor sharpening, and I get all saying over the years I've been asked to repair all sorts, irons and computers and CD players and all sorts. If it's out there to do, I'll give it a go if I can.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. So how does your business break down? Shoe repairs compared to key cutting. What sort of percentages?
Well, your 3 main ones: shoe repairs, key cutting, watch batteries.
All right. Yeah.
I do loads of watch batteries, and it's probably a third of each really now. Third shoe repairs, third keys, third watches.
Yeah.
Where
Okay.
it used to be back in the day, mainly all shoes and then a few keys and a few watches. Now it's, it's equal on all 3 really now.
Oh, all right then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I noticed that you got a Facebook page for your business.
Yes,
Yeah,
Facebook.
and when I've been looking back on there, it mentions last couple of years you've had special items in that make sort of ideal Christmas presents. Will you be having
Yes,
anything like that people can come in?
Yes, my sister will be coming up to do Christmas window next week, and then all the purses and wallets will be out. Some ideal gifts for Christmas.
Are they leather?
Yeah, leather purses, leather wallets.
So there you are. If you've never used Lawrence for shoe repairs or key cutting, but you're looking for an ideal Christmas present for a loved one, you'll have a good stock of wallets and purses, all good quality leather. Yep.
Shoes, you keep on walking me back to her. Shoes, don't you know that she don't care? Can't you see she's through with me, and our love could never, never be. Turn around, go back home, leave the girl alone. Can't you see she's breaking my heart? Don't you know she's through with me? Won't you have a little pity on me? Why not show a little sympathy, yeah?
So Lawrence, you're really heavily into your northern soul from what I understand.
Oh yeah. Been into my Northern Soul since I was sort of 14, 15.
14,
Going to all-nighters at Wigan Casino and various other places around the country. Still collecting records to this day. just come back from Jersey last week. Had 5 days in Jersey.
Yeah.
Still doing the old 8 till 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. Had a great time with my good friend Julian Metcalf from Wyke. We've mucked about now together for years. And we're running a soul night at Adult Club for 16 and a half years.
You did, or that's still...
We did. It's still going, it's Adult Club,
Yeah.
but with different promoters now. But we did 16 and a half years, and that were really successful. We had some great times on that. And as I say, most weekends I'm still out boogieing and collecting my records.
So
Yeah,
you're still DJing?
Yeah, still DJing here and there.
But
Maybe not as much as I used to do.
Yeah.
Calming down a little bit
Right.
now.
But you still like to get out and on the dance floor?
Oh yeah, but that's been my pastime for many, many years.
Yeah. I was wondering what age you are, because you're very similar to me.
65.
65. Well, I'm 66, going 67 this December, and a lot of my mates, I were brought up in York,
Yeah.
and whilst during the 70s, you're discovering music.
That's right.
As a teenager. So you hear the sounds of today, but then you get curious and you want to go back and see where them sounds come from.
That's right.
And I got into, I was enjoying soul music and all that sort of thing. But as a sort of 17, 18-year-old, I was like, I was a punk, right? But there was a curious thing went on in York that the lads, the Northern Soul lads and the punk lads had a sort of mutual respect for each other. And when I knew I was coming to meet you, I was trying to figure out why. And the only thing I could put it down to was, although we weren't going to each other's gigs, we would cross over and we would go to their pub and they would come to our pub, and there's this mutual respect. And I think it was because we were both we were groups that were outside of the mainstream.
Yeah, that's it. Outside of the mainstream, you had your own little niche market. I used to go to York a lot DJing back in the day and all.
Well, I'll tell you, a lot of my friends used to go to Wigan Casino. They would come in the pub on a Saturday lunchtime, and then that's when the pub shut at 3 o'clock, and they'd then be on the train over to Wigan.
Yeah, that's right.
Can you just tell people who maybe don't know that much about Northern Soul, about the importance of Wigan Casino, about when it started, when it closed, and what it meant to you?
Well, it was culture, and if you're into soul music, it was sort of the music. That's the best way to describe it. 60s up-tempo Detroit records from America.
Yeah.
Maybe what didn't make it in charts or all like that, and then all the people on our scene went over to America discovering records, but it's all up-tempo dance music. So you get a lot of people, say, from Yorkshire, Nottingham, Barnes of Sheffield, who worked in mills all day, hard work obviously what they had in mines and stuff, and then at weekends it was a release, so they go to either Wigan Casino, Samantha's at Sheffield, Wakefield, all sorts of all-nighters.
Blackpool Mecca, was that?
Blackpool Mecca, yeah, Blackpool Mecca. So it was released at the end of the week after an hard week's toll, if you want. And they used to get out, and obviously we all got to know each other, and we all still know each other all these years on. We were all 14, 16 at the time, going to all-nighters. Now we're all men and all women now, really, do you know what I mean? But we're still going out to this day, a lot of people. And it's now brought some young uns in as well, which are discovering music after all this time, who are really enjoying it.
Yeah, because if that doesn't happen, the music,
oh yeah,
the scene dies.
Yeah. You know, which eventually it will. You know, because times move on, and you've got your other cultures what have moved on.
Yeah, new forms of music and everything like that. So like Detroit in the 60s, that would have been an absolute hive of activity of producing records. Not everything can chart.
That's right. Yeah, there'll a lot what locally produced, and they might have put 50 out on a white demonstration copy, and then it never got a release. Well, then white demonstration copies to us are worth a lot of money because they're so rare, you know, and people going over and discovering it and bringing it back, new spins every week, and it kept the scene really going, you know, and it had a right following, which it still has to this day.
From my sort of like layman's knowledge of Northern Soul, I seem to remember reading that like the DJs like Russ Winstanley, Ian Levine, they would go over spend a fortune on records and then sort of remove the labels because the DJ's reputation was built on the discs that he was spinning, and that if he got successful records filling the dance floors, he didn't want the other DJs to know who that artist was.
That's right, both the punters and the other DJs. But, you know, one of your main men who don't get mentioned as much is a DJ called Richard Surley, who used to do the Wigan Casino, and he progressed the music from 60s music and then got into 70s soul music and pushed that, and he's forever pushed the scene along. And you hear of Russ Winstanley and the rest of them, but it's more like your people like Richard Surley, Brian Ray. Later on, there's a lad called Butch who's got all exclusive and whatnot. So various DJs all around country, various, pushed it.
So the term Northern Soul, is that because it primarily came up from the Northern Heartland, and then it, because now it's like a nationwide thing.
Yeah, it's a nationwide thing now, but it was more, you know, sort of Yorkshire,
working
down
class.
Barnsley, Sheffield, Nottingham, over in Lancashire, down London it was more mid-tempo soul, but we found the more gritty, up-tempo
faster
side of it, faster, which
yeah.
were good for dancing. So, you know, we just can't dance as fast no more, that's all.
Yeah. One of the lads, I can't dance full stop, so you're not one up on me anyway there. But one of the lads, I say this group of lads in York, one of the lads there, he was a DJ at Wigan Casino for about 5 years. A lad called Alan Rhodes.
Alan Rhodes, yeah.
Do you know
Alan Rhodes, yeah.
I don't think he's sort of in the Northern Soul.
Alan Rhodes,
in the public.
He found loads and loads of records here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah,
one of old names. Yeah,
we'd sometimes like go as a group to his flat. And I remember him telling me one time, although he had these records and DJs were very sort of secretive about that, Alan was very open, and he told me once, he said, "I'll lend any record to anybody, but the only thing he had a logbook. And he would get you to sign this record out and then sign it back in. But other than that, he was really, really good. Another lad was called Chris Holmes, who did a bit of DJing, but not at the same level as Alan.
Yes, I don't particularly know him.
From that era.
Yeah.
So you're still doing your...
still out and about.
Out dancing, out DJing, out organising the odd event.
No, I don't organise my own events now. I took a back seat from that.
Right.
That's why me and my mate, we did that off 16 and a half years, and then we just thought, well, you know, we'll just go DJing to events rather than running our own events, just calm it down a little bit.
And are you still buying records?
Yes.
Yeah. You can't beat putting a record.
I sold a load in COVID times, just after COVID. Yeah. But so I've replaced them, and it's, you know, keep replacing all the time.
Then you think, why did I sell that?
Yeah.
And you think, I sold it for that price, you know. So you talked about getting into Northern Soul when you were about 14. Was there one record, or was it something? Did you go to an event, or what was the trigger there to you?
Well, the first record I ever heard at Wigan Casino, the first days I walked in, was a record, Major Lance, You Don't Want Me No More.
Major Lance.
On the OK Records.
Okay.
That was the first one I heard, and I thought, wow.
Was that OKEH?
Yeah. That was the first one I heard as I went through the doors at Wigan Casino and up the stairs. But before that, two older brothers who were into Northern Soul scene, but my oldest brother, he used to go to like Twisted Wheel and stuff like that in Manchester, which is what a massive club back in its day.
In the 60s that you're talking about.
Yeah, and they still have dues every month now in an old basement, which were very similar to Twisted Wheel, playing all the same sounds what they used to play at Twisted Wheel, which is what a lot of where the music what they played at Wigan came from, and various other clubs around country. So
you had a good grounding before you went to
I had
Wigan
a
Casino.
good grounding to start with, do you know what I mean?
The one thing I remember is that at Wigan Casino they always played the same three records, didn't they, at the end of the night? I know one of them was I'm On My Way.
On My Way, Toby Legend, Time Will Pass You By, and Dina Barnes, If You Ever Walked Out of My Life.
Right.
They were the three they played. But, you know, we're talking about Wigan quite a bit. but there were so many other clubs
Yeah.
around the country. So let's not just say Wigan Casino, there were various clubs all over.
So this side of the Pennines, which out of importance to the scene, which would you say has the greatest
you had a
reputation?
lot of, you know, you had clubs in Leeds, you had clubs in Sheffield, you had clubs in Keighley, I had a REOB club at Keighley. I was just a little bit too young for that, but I went just once or twice at the end. But no, various clubs all over, so no importance put on any of them really, because
Right.
they're all just as good
Yeah.
and all slightly different in the way what they were doing, you know.
Yeah.
So you've got to give respect to all the clubs, not just the one what you hear about all the time, you know. So yeah. So,
Well, thanks
so
very much.
that's it. Yeah,
Thanks
no problem.
very much,
Thank you
Lawrence.
very much.
Thank you for
Cheers.
inviting us in.
Yeah, no
Enjoyed
problem.
our little chat.
Anytime. Anytime.
But not for 2 years.
Yeah.
I'll come in on your 40th anniversary. maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, thanks to Lawrence for letting us come and while he's working have this little chat. If you're a customer of Lawrence's, maybe you found out a little bit more about him now as well. And if if you're a person who's lived in Wyke, you'll be aware of his shoe repair business. Why not come in and put a bit of business his way as well? And don't forget, Christmas time they'll have some lovely leather products that'll make ideal gifts. So until the next trip, wherever that might take me, from Lawrence and myself, we'll say see you later. Dodger and out.
Can't you see she's doing me? Won't you have a little pity on me? While I'm showing a little sympathy, yeah. Oh yeah. All road shoes. You keep on walking me right straight back to love. Shoes. Want you